Welcome everybody to Coldwell Banker Sarazen's first video training session. I'm Jeff Mziray from the Aberdeen office, and let's begin. This session is focused on the City of Ottawa eMap services, its functionality, the value-add information that's contained within the site, and ways that you can use the eMaps to help you during your listing and selling process. In an effort to make training accessible to everyone 24 hours a day, we are making a shift to video training over the next few months. This will allow for everyone to have access to the training sessions at all times. We are also going to be cataloging the training sessions along with helpful agreement of purchase and sale clauses within our agent portal on the new Coldwell Banker Sarazen platform. The next video training session will be an online tutorial on how to access videos, your profile, and the clauses, etc., etc. Okay, so let's start. The best way to log in to the eMap services, at least for a first timer, is through the Matrix portal. So what you do is log into the OREP dashboard. Okay, now that you'll notice that you're in the dashboard, you'll notice if you scroll down to the bottom, you'll see City of Ottawa as well as the City of Ottawa eMaps services. So you'll click on that. And ta-da, you're into the City of Ottawa map services. The first time a particular computer has gone through this process, just hit agree, read this, and if you're comfortable with everything, which is pretty standard, hit agree. All right, so before we tour the site functionality, let's quickly touch on what features we'll learn about today and why these tools are valuable for both yourself and your clients. So today we're going to learn about viewing property information as well as viewing property zoning. Among other things. Okay. Adding this information to a listing presentation is sort of a great value add, especially in central downtown zones that are intensifying very quickly, and as a result of these changes, values are changing very quickly. So this is sort of product information, and knowing what the particular zoning is of a property will help you sort of instill trust into your client as part of the valuation process. All right, so the first functionality is let's just assume that your client wants to live in Hintonburg. They give you a call and say, hey, we want to live in Hintonburg, maybe on a street called Pinney, and I want to know what can be done with the property, and there's a big side yard on the side, and is there any way I can sell that side yard separately, or just some details about the property. Or let's say you have a downtown developer that wants to build some townhomes on the property, and they say, hey, I noticed that this could probably fit some townhomes. Would I be allowed to convert this property into a townhome community? So what you would do from this point is you would log in through the eMap service and type in the address or the street name. Let's say start by researching Pinney in Hintonburg. So it'll sort of zoom you into the area that your target is interested in. And what you'll do is you can further zoom into the particular area by sort of just, playing around with the map, saying, which lot looks like it could be bigger. All right, let's look at 66 Pinney. It looks like it's a good size lot, and a little bit larger than the majority of the lots in the area. So you would have typed into the search bar, you would see it here, and then from there you're going to say, you know what, let's see what we can do on this particular property, and let's do some research to see how big that lot truly is. So what you can do from there is you will click on the property. You'll be able to say you want a property report, what day the garbage pickup is, for example. It's on Thursdays, so your client will now know what day their garbage pickup is. You can look at the property report. And the property report is a great great piece of information to always print out to go along with every one of your showings. It's just that further piece of information that people can, your consumer can look at, that will allow them to see the lot size. That's further verifies what it says on the MLX listing, as well as the frontage and the depth of the property. So you'd see here that the lot frontage is 50 feet by 86 feet. This information here is what you're then going to cross-reference to see what could be done with the property outside of what the current use is. So let's say you're looking at sort of an ugly, old, depreciated building, and your client wants to build really high-end, nice semis in that area. You then say, could you have two 25-foot semis? Yeah, that would make sense. Now let's see if the zoning allows it. So you go get the zoning information. It highlights over the whole area, and the property that you've selected says R4T. So that's the residential fourth density. T is the subsection zoning. So R4 is a lot. R1 would be a residential first density, meaning single family homes. R4 is a lot more flex. R2 is more flex than R1, R3, R4 as it moves up. And as you can see over here, TM, that would stand for traditional Main Street. 11, that would mean traditional Main Street 11 meters tall, meaning that they would want to see storefronts along the front, and then they would want to see residential apartments above that. So now that we know that this is an R4 lot, and we know that the zoning is, we know the zoning is R4T, and we know that it's a 50 by 86 lot, the next step you can do to do additional information for your client would be going back here, which is your realtor dashboard, clicking on the City of Ottawa. This is where you go to research what you can do within particular zones if you don't already have knowledge of, so you type in zoning into the search bar on the City of Ottawa site. We go to the residential zones, section 155 through 168. This is where you can see all the different zonings. So R4 was the zone that we just found the property in. Now you can present your client with knowledge that that property that they like, even though they're going to use it, maybe they're going to use it today to live in, but down the road, maybe someone's going to knock on their door and say they want to do. These are the permitted uses. So you'd have apartment dwellings, bed and breakfast, community gardens, diplomatic missions, duplex dwellings, group homes, home-based businesses, retirement homes, stacked dwellings, basically it goes on and on, so townhome dwellings. Then within that, you'll read about those provisions to see if it goes along with what your client's usage is. In practical use, all the time, I would have clients that want to build townhomes. It was the most prominent usage, and you would see a lot that could fit 2 townhomes on it. It has a little bungalow on it, and they're looking at it for a land buy, and they want to know, can I squeeze those townhomes in? And if you can squeeze those townhomes in and buy it for under market on what they would determine to be market value on just the land buys in the core, you could have a sale, and then not to mention the sale of the 2 new homes that come in. So what I'm scrolling down for now is this. Once you've decided what the usage is that you're planning on doing on that property, you would go into a little bit more detail where you'd want to do a semi-detached. This section here outlines the kind of property you want to do within the zoning, how many meters you need per lot, or how many feet, it depends, meters or feet. Let's see what we're in, what metric we're in here. The topic gives you that. Okay, so that's in meters. So it gives you, if you want to do semi-detaches within the R4L, now we'll go down to R4T, because that particular property we're looking at was T. You can see here, these are the subsections, A, B, C, D, E, F, because each subsection has a slightly different usage requirement. Okay, so now we're in the R4T zone. If you want to do semi-detached dwellings in the R4T zone, you would need 4.5 meters per lot. Let's just say that said 4, and you multiply that by roughly 3, so that's 12. 12 times 2, you need so you need roughly 14 feet based on 4.5. You need roughly 4.5 feet, 14.5 feet per townhome. Which then, if we have 50 feet total, we'd be okay. And so this lot would allow for the usage of semis. You may even be able to squeeze three-door townhouses into that 50 feet, which would even make the lot more valuable. Then you're going to have setbacks, side yard setbacks, lot overall density of how much lot coverage you can have. So it takes some research and knowledge to further go into detail. A lot of the time, if your client is looking for something in particular, they will do that research on their own. But long and short of it, you can see here you can go into the particular zone and you can see what usage exists. The value in a listing presentation for this information is they think they're selling their old, decrepit home on a 50-foot lot, and they're like, we're not going to get anything for this. But as a professional, you go in and do the research and think, well, no, you technically could have 3 lots that a developer could turn this into a 3-door townhome and sell them at $700,000 a door. So instead of selling this at $400,000 for the decrepit house, why don't we sell it for $650,000 for the lots? And hence the value. Or on another level, you say to your client, well, you know, I know you don't necessarily, let's say it's a nice-ish house on the lots, and you say, you know, don't worry if the values seem a little high, because down the road there's a fallback plan, which could be the development potential on the subject property. So one thing you can always do when you're meeting with a buyer and when you're meeting with a seller is you can say to your buyer, one of the things that I do as a service is I make sure that I research the zoning of the property to see if there's any potential ways that the land could benefit down the road when you're done with the property, any additional ways that you could find value and a better, higher and better use down the road. And this is always one thing that clients love to hear, is that you have this information, and just printing it out, I mean, they wouldn't know where you found it a lot of the time, and it sort of instills in them, oh, I like this home, why don't I call my agent and find out what the zoning is? And it just gives you that extra in to display your professionalism. So if you look at this lot, R4T, you can sort of see on a similar lot over here, there's 2 homes. You can sort of see on this, let's pull up this property. It looks pretty interesting. Maybe someone can go try to sell it today. What street are we on here? That's called Merton. Okay, so let's go to 98 Merton. Okay, so let's get the property. This is 98 Merton right here. You see, it looks like it's one parcel, but it looks like there's no demising in it. So it looks like there could be a severable side yard here. So let's get the property report. $25 by $8. Oh no, so they've already severed it. So that's good. So there's no opportunity for us here today. But at one point, did I get the right address? Oh, that's 88. Okay, let's try 86. I'm just looking at things upside down, so let's try 86 Merton. 86 Merton. Okay, there it is. So it actually does look there could be an opportunity here. So why don't we get the property report? Now you see a 40 by 88 lot, and if you look at the image, you can see a great side yard, right? So right here, you could potentially have a purchase scenario where, based on the zoning that we're looking at, you could have, if you door knock this house and got if you had a developer client or someone that just wanted a little bit of a house with a bit of a side yard down the road, this could be sold for maybe a couple $100,000 as a side yard. Maybe overall the valuation could really work out nicely. So this is a prime example of a severable side yard, and as a result of now knowing that the zoning is only 14 meters per, you get away with on 40, you could get away with two lots there. So a severable side yard. This is just one way that you can add that additional value by knowing zoning, knowing the City of Ottawa EMAP service, and before you go to a buyer presentation, a listing presentation, adding one more page in that you print out, which is just a quick zoning map. Go over here, I want to print, and then you print on the map, it prints out the screen that you're looking at, and you bring that in and say the zoning in the area is. This could lead to a development potential down the road, and it just sort of instills that additional faith and confidence into your client. So with this said, there's so many ways that you can use the City of Ottawa EMAP services to better your sales, to understand valuations, and to learn about zoning. So if anyone has any more questions or particulars about how they can, a direct case of how they can use this EMAP service, feel free to call me anytime. Again, it's Jeff Mziray. Give me a call anytime. I'm at the Aberdeen office, and I'd love to give you guys some more information of how this could be used practically in your day. So, in summary, figure out a way that you can add the EMAP services. I mean, excluding showing homes in Barhaven and Canada where the development is basically said and done. If you're showing anything central, you can assist in the sale by instilling confidence in the client that there could be further, higher, better uses in central real estate, more than what they see. They see a home on a 50-foot lot. Maybe they should see their home on a 50-foot lot with a fallback potential of being $700,000 doubles within 10 years when they decide to move on, and then the land value actually exceeds the home value, and it just helps get them that step closer to making a move and making an offer. So give me a call. I hope you found this tutorial informative, and I look forward to presenting more video tutorials, and bear with me, this was the first one. Cheers.